In this video, I will guide you through one of the most powerful yet often overlooked features in Origin, the Project Explorer. Let's begin. I'm using Origin 2018. If your Origin projects are getting cluttered, difficult to navigate, and hard to use later, then this is exactly what you need. Because mastering the Project Explorer will completely change how you organize, manage, and work with your data. Now, this is a project file that contains many different elements. For example, we have multiple data sets here. In this project, we have 3 types of data, and there are also several graphs. So overall, we have both data and graphs present here. This is an example of a very messy project where everything is cluttered. So it is important to organize it properly. It is much better to manage this project efficiently. Inside Origin, we have a tool for this. This tool is called the Project Explorer. When you move your cursor here, you can access the Project Explorer. Here, the Origin file name is 2. So this is the main or parent folder. Inside it, the folder containing all the data is named Figures. The currently selected folder is called the active folder. Here we have 3 data books, and these are the graphs in this folder. The Project Explorer works like a file manager inside Origin. If this panel is not visible when you open a project, your workspace may look like this. So your screen will look something like this. And here, if you open the Project Explorer, you will notice that the project is not saved yet. That is why it appears as untitled. Inside it, you will see folder 1 is the active folder, and within that there is one data book. This is the same data book shown here. So essentially, once you save your project, its name will appear here, and you can rename the project at any time. For example, let me save this project now. And you can see here that the name has changed to test. This is called the parent folder. You cannot change this unless you rename the project itself. And this here is the active folder. From here we can create new folders. First, let's rename this folder. For example, I will rename it to sample A. Similarly, we can create folders inside it. We can also create folders directly in the parent folder. For example, if I want to create a folder here, I simply right-click and select New Folder. You can see that it becomes a subfolder. If you click it again, after a moment, you will get the option to rename it. Let's name this Sample A. Now, if this folder is active, and I right-click again and select New Folder, you will see that the new folder is created inside it. I will name this one Sample P. In this way, you can create folders within the main folder and inside subfolders. This clearly shows that the structure and hierarchy of your project. So this is how you organize folders. And next we will look at managing their contents. Now let's start by organizing folders. For example, the first folder will contain the raw data. I will rename this folder as raw data. Inside the raw data folder, I can create a folder for sample A Then I create another folder inside raw data and name it sample B. Make sure the raw data folder is active while creating these. If a different folder is active, any new folder you create will be placed inside that folder. So I can also create sample C in the same way. As you can see, I have created multiple sample folders inside raw data. Now let's create another category for process data. I will rename this folder normalized data. So now we have raw data and normalized data. The normalized data folder is placed under the main parent folder. This way the raw data remains untouched while processing data goes into normalized data. Inside this folder, I can either create subfolders or store process data directly. I can also create another folder called finalized graphs. Let me expand this structure. Now, within the main folder, I have raw data, normalized data, and finalized graphs. Notice that raw data has an arrow indicating it contains subfolders. The others don't show an arrow because they don't have subfolders yet. Now if I want to delete something inside raw data, I can right-click the folder and select delete. Or simply select it and press delete on your keyboard. The same method applies to any folder. Now I have three main folders organized. Next, let's import some data and process it. If the Project Explorer is not visible, you can enable it from here. Go to View menu and select Project Explorer, or use the quick access arrow and enable it from there. Now let's import some data. I go to File, Import, then I select Single ASCII file. I choose a text file and the data is loaded here. Now I will plot this data. Here is the plotted graph. I can go to Window and choose Tile horizontally or vertically. This helps organize multiple windows efficiently. Now I select the data set and choose to normalize it. The normalization options allow scaling from 0 to 100 or 0 to 1. The choice depends on your analysis needs. After clicking OK, the normalized data is created. When I plot it, the shape remains the same. However, the scale on the axis changes. Now, when I open the Project Explorer, I can see that Graph 1 is the original plot, while Graph 2 and Graph 3 are the normalized versions. Now I select Graph 2 and Graph 3. I want to move them into the normalized data folder. I simply drag and drop them into normalized data. And now they are organized there. When I click raw data, I see only the raw data set. When I click normalized data, I see the process graphs. These graphs clearly belong to the normalized data. Currently, the finalized graphs folder is empty. Now, let's go to normalized data and combine these two graphs into one. This step is part of processing and presenting your data. I go to Graph, Merge Graph Windows to open the dialog box. I click OK and the merge graph is created. Once I am satisfied with it, I go back to the Project Explorer. This new graph 4 is the finalized version. I drag graph 4 into the finalized graphs folder. Now when I open finalized graphs, I can clearly see the final output here. Similarly, when I open normalized data, I can see all process graphs. And raw data contains the original data sets. This is how you can organize your project in a professional way. This was a simple example of creating and organizing folders. We learned how to rename, delete, and create folders and subfolders. These operations are quite straightforward. Now let's open a project that already contains many files and graphs. This type of project is usually difficult to manage. Let's open that project. Here is the main project and you can see multiple plots along with several data sets. Now all graphs, worksheets and data are open. Next, go to Window, Tile vertically. This neatly arranges everything on the screen. Now I go to the Project Explorer. This is the project name currently labeled 2. You can rename it based on your work, such as thesis, manuscript, or chapter. Now when I examine the graphs, I can identify some as UV-Vis figures. Similarly, the other graphs belong to different categories. Some are processed or normalized graphs. Others, for example, are PL photoluminescence graphs. First, I rename the main folder as Data Files. The icons help distinguish between worksheets and graphs. I simply drag them into the appropriate folder. Then I right-click inside it and select New Folder. I rename this folder UV-Vis. Here is another useful tip. Right-click a graph and open Properties. Rename it from Graph 3 to UV-Vis figure. Now the graph name is clearly identifiable. Then I create another folder. I name this one PL Figures. This makes your project much easier to manage. Now let's look at an additional feature. You can also add notes to your project. Click Notes. It has a different icon. You can write details such as when the data was collected. This acts as a reference note within your project. It helps you remember important details about your data. There are a few important things to keep in mind. Here are some common mistakes. First, always check the active folder before creating a new folder. Otherwise, your files may end up in the wrong place. Second, be careful when deleting folders. Always check the folder's contents before deleting. These techniques will significantly improve your workflow. I hope you can now manage the Project Explorer with confidence and organize your projects in a truly professional way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.